Good morning. Now I am going to present the time value of money from process economics and engineering management. Among this, first of all, we have to well know about the engineering economics. The engineering economics is nothing but it deals with the concept and the technique of analysis using in evaluating the worth of system, product, and the service in relation to the cost. But the engineering economics. In engineering economics, they may ask many different questions. The first questions which may ask which engineering projects are worthwhile. Has the mining or petroleum engineering shows that the minerals or oil deposit in the worth developing. Next questions. Which engineering project should have the higher priority? Has the industrial engineers like mechanical, petroleum or chemical engineers, has the industrial engineers shown which factory improvement project should be funded with the available dollars? Next, last questions. How should the engineering projects be designed? As civil or mechanical engineers using the best thickness for the installations. Next of all, we see the time value of money. Money has the time value, and a rupee today is more valuable than a year ends. It is on this concept the time value of money is based. The recognition of the time value of money and risk is extremely vital in financial decision making. And the time value of money is central to the concept of finance. It's a backbone on finance. It recognizes that the value of money is different at different point of time. Since money can put to productive use, its value is different depending upon which is received or paid. In similar terms, the value of a certain amount of money today is more valuable than in tomorrow. Value of tomorrow. It is not because of uncertainty involved with time, but purely on the account of timing. Day-to-day life it can be changed. Account of timing it can be changed in account of timing. The difference in the value of money today and the tomorrow is referred as time value of money. Thus the fundamental example one. Thus the fundamental principles behind the concept of time value of money. Some of the money received today is worth more than if the same is received after a certain period of the time. For example, if an individual is given an alternative either to receive 10,000 now or after a 1 year he will be prefer rupees 10,000 only because it should not be improved that way. Now this is because today he may be in a position to purchase more goods with this money than what he is doing to get same amount after a 1 year or to be increasing by. Next, timelines and the notation. The timelines and notations are classified two types, part A and the part B. That is the difference among the 5 years. That the initial rate 0 to 1, 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. That the initial rate they should not be paid any interest 12%. Among the part B says the initial itself you have to pay the 10 among the 10,000 you pay the 12 percentage. When the cash flow occurs at different points in time. It is easier to deal with them using a timeline. A timeline shows the timing and amount of each cash flow in cash flow streams. Thus, a cash flow stream is rupees 10,000. At the end of each of the next 5 years can be depicted on the timeline like the on one show below. As shows below, the 0 refers to the present time. A cash flow that occurs at the time 0 is already the present value terms and hence does not require any adjustment for the time value of money. You must distinguish between the period of time at the point of time. The period of 1, which is the first year in the portions of timeline between 0 and the point 1. The cash flow occurring at the point 1 is the cash flow that occurs at the end of the period 1. And finally, the discount rate, which is 12% in our example, it is specified for the each period on the timeline and it is may differ from period to period. If cash flow occurs beginning rather than the end of each year, the timeline could be shown in the part B. Next, the second diagram. Note that the cash flow occurring at the end of the year 1 is equivalent to the cash flow occurring at the beginning of the year 2. Cash flow can be positive or negative. A positive can be flow is called a cash inflow. The negative flow is called a cash outflow. Next, the topic is from the time value of money valuation concept. The valuation concept begins by the time value of money established that there is a preference of having money at present than a future point of time. It means that a person will have to pay a future more for a rupee received today. A person may accept less today for the rupee to be received in the future ones. Thus, the inverse of compounding process is termed as discounting. Here, we can find that the value of future cash flow as on the today. Next, the technique on time value of money. That is the two technique for adjusting the time value of money. First is the compounding technique or future value technique. Second one is the discounting or present value technique. The value of money at the future date is given the interest rate or the future value. Similarly, the worth of money today that is receivable or payable at future day is called the present value of money. The compounding techniques. In this concept, the interest earned on the initial principal amount becomes a part of the principal at the end of the compounding period. For example, suppose you invest the 1000 for the 3 years, the saving amount of that pays 10% interest per year. If you let your interest become reinvested, your investment will grow as follows. That's the first year. Interest for the year of is the 10%, 100 into 0.10, 100. The principles of end year, it terms what? 1100. And the same, the interest can be invested from the second term. The second year, principal at the beginning 1100, and the multiply of 10% of interest, that can 110. That the principles of end interest 1002 and half yearly. Its component is quarterly. Annual interest rate is to be divided by 4. 4 into 3 is nothing but of 12, and the number of years to be multiplied by the 4. Similarly, it's a monthly component to be rate made by annual interest rate is to be divided by 12, and the number of years to be multiplied by 12 is nothing but of FVN equal to PV into 1 plus R by M whole power M into N. FE is nothing but a future value after N years. PV is nothing but a cash flow today. R is interest rate per annum. And M is nothing but number of times compounding is done during a year. N is nothing but number of years for which compounding is done. Next is the future value of multiple cash flow. The transaction is real life or not limited to one. An investor investing money in installment may wish to know the value of saving. That is nothing but of nth year. The formula is FVN equal to PV 1 plus R by M. FEN is nothing but a future value of nth year, that the end year. PV is nothing but present value. R is nothing but of interest rate. M is nothing but number of times compounding. Next, discounting or the present value concept. The discounting or present value concept nothing but of present value is except the opposite of future value. The present value of future cash of the cash flow, cash inflow or outflow is the amount of current cash that is of equivalent value to the decision makers. The process of determining the present value of future payment or receipt or the series of future payment is called the discounting. The compounding interest rate is used for discounting the cash flow is called the discount rate. The next chapter we will discuss about next present value calculations. The simple and the compound interest. In the compound interest, each interest payment is reinvested to earn further interest in the future period. However, if no interest is earned on the investment earns only a simple interest. In such a case, the investment goes as follows. The future value is nothing but of present value into 1 plus number of years into rate of interest. Rate of interest, how that will be calculated. Okay, thank you.